Mr. Sanjeev, how are you?
Thank you. Mr. Bupe?
Yes. You have got a very good memory. Good to see you, sir.
So sweet.
Yes, very nice meeting you, sir.
My goodness.
Thank you so much.
I was thinking I've seen you.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we'll be seeing each other more now. Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel today. Guys, there is a company known as Green Cosmos. So there is an activity happening today. They have a press briefing on what is happening in the country, especially Zambia, about climate change. That's the meeting for today. So make sure if you are new on my channel, do me a favor, do subscribe, turn on bell notification, give this video a thumbs up. So we are at NIPA. So this is the NIPA, National Institute of Public Administration. There is what we call the American Corner. That's where the meeting is taking place. So I'm going to go through all the speeches. It will be quite a long video. Please watch it up to the very end. Let's go.
Greetings. Good morning. One Zambia. Amazing. At this point in time, I would just love to invite Dr. Bridget Kamove just to give us opening remarks. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I will put forward an interest, and that's because I'm sure for most of us, I would be giving statement statement, but sitting here, I am sitting as board member of Green Cosmos. When the opportunity for me to speak comes, I will talk to that, as well as coming from private sector, of course, which is Trade Kings, and also in my own right as an individual, having been very passionate about the effects that we're experiencing right now. But speaking on behalf of Green Cosmos, first and foremost, I want to take special recognition of the CEO of Green Cosmos and the board of directors that are present, and also to especially thank you as media. May I use this opportunity to edify you a little bit. Sometimes what gets communicated is, the extent to which your value, the role that you play as the world is going through such phenomenal change. I feel very strongly that sometimes it's downplayed. I just thought I should use this opportunity to say, if it wasn't for you to tell the stories, whichever angle, if it is not for you to do your research and give statistics as well as data that then informs decisions, we wouldn't be sitting in the boardrooms and making decisions that are influencing what the world is going through right now. But on behalf of Green Cosmos, it is to say a special welcome and thank you that you have responded so positively. I think we are going through, as a country, something that needs concerted efforts. And the efforts that are required from you who pass the information to the closest capillarity to community cannot be overemphasized. So really on behalf of my own right as a board member in Green Cosmos, but also on behalf of the entire board and staff of Green Cosmos, we're extremely delighted that you're here. And also, we would like to engage with you so that what we're calling, multiple stakeholder engagement becomes a reality. I think we are past the time when we must theorize the effects of climate change, which are not in exclusion of, the kind of effects we're having on agriculture, the kind of effects we're having, therefore, on food security, the kind of effects that we're having on human health, the kind of effects that we're having collectively on a threatened future because of increased temperatures, unusual floods. We are right in the middle of summer right now. And with all due respect to the fact that in October temperatures, I think they are unique. They have a unique scheme. And so if I speak on my own behalf as an individual and an influencer who believes in championing the change that is happening right now, I think we're being called to go back to the drawing board and look collectively at how we have arrived here. So without further ado, it is for me to say a special welcome. And please, let's be as engaging as possible because we need your feedback. Yes, you will pick the information and be able to communicate. But also, because you're thought leaders, we would like to hear from you because we have to go as far as communities to communicate this adaptation. So we cannot discuss, I feel very firmly that even whilst we're discussing sustainability, we need to start changing the narrative of regeneration of what has made us arrive at this particular point. We cannot continue discussing management or sustaining until we go back to the drawing board. I mean, if we speak to the 60 years of independence, how have we arrived here? In so many ways more than one, if we do not sit before these tables and have real, tangible conversations. Thank you so much for your godly attention, and I'd like to
Good morning, fellow Zambians. May I begin by acknowledging the presence of our board members, board of directors, Dr. Bridget Kambobe. We are very much happy to have you here. Madam Wika Tambatamba, we are so grateful to have you. Our chief, Sanjeev Shada, thank you so much for making it possible to come through, regardless of your busy schedules. Honorable Head Miti, so to speak, thank you so much. Distinguished guests, members of the press, especially the journalists, we are very much happy that you have actually responded positively. As Green Cosmos Zambia, we feel it's very much important for us to go for this press briefing to address matters that touches the very fabric of our nation, the growing impacts of climate change, the rising cost of living, and the persisting challenges of load shedding. These issues they affect your daily life, and the livelihood as well as our future. However, as an organization, we feel it's very much important to come on board and see on how best we can put up some strategic measures, solutions to actually in one or the other supplement government's effort. To start with the devastating effects of climate change. You may wish to know, climate change is not really an abstract threat. It is here. I'm sure we are all able to feel the impacts. Its impacts are already devastating our communities. In Zambia on the 29th of February, if I'm not mistaken, the president declared drought a national disaster in emergency. This entails that climate change is real. Further rising temperature, just like our board already alluded to, we are able now to say June and October. It also indicates that climate change is real. And unpredictable weather patterns on our agriculture. Our farmers, more especially in rural areas, are really struggling to cope. And the food insecurity of our nation is increasingly at risk, leading to the high cost of living, where now we are able to buy meal meal at maybe 350, affecting our livelihood everywhere, whatever we can actually speak about. Members of the press, it is also important to note that one of the leading contributors to this crisis, more especially the climate change in Zambia, is also mismanagement of solid waste. We cannot actually negate that fact. In Lusaka alone, we generate approximately 1,200 tons of waste on a daily basis a huge amount that is overwhelming our waste management system and leading to further consequences. It's also important to note that there has been, of course, Keep Zambia Clean campaign, which the government of Zambia launched in 2007. And each and every regime keep on actually launching. Last year, we launched the Keep Lusaka Clean, hand in hand with the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. The Vice President came down to do some cleaning. However, our environment remains a big dream needs to be actualized for it to be clean. Then concern of people towards the use of our environment is worrisome. This also not only accelerates climate change, but also creates significant public health risks such as cholera, to mention but a few. Now let me speak about cholera, which has now in one way or the other become like a traditional ceremony. Member of the press, during the 2023-2024 rainy season, Zambia reported around 19,376 cholera cases and 700 deaths, largely due to poor waste management and environmental conditions. The government, of course, through the Ministry of Health, as of January 2024, allocated over 50 million to manage the outbreak of cholera, focusing on clean water, sanitation, medical supplies, and health campaigns. However, these funds could have been better invested in addressing root cause through education or climate change initiatives, more especially air warnings and other advocacy, and also just to improve the sanitation. We understand the commitment of the government that they are putting in to ensure that Zambia remains clean, but again, it is also coming back to us as citizens. What are we doing to ensure that we did one way or the other address these issues as quickly as possible and not wait for another rainy season again for another crisis? As we confront these challenges, I want to call upon companies, organizations that respond only during cholera outbreaks to step forward proactively. You agree with me that when we have cases of cholera, we have a good number of organizations, companies, even individuals, businessmen, businesswomen, coming on board to bring about chlorine, to bring about soap. However, I'm seeing more like this cholera outbreak issue. It has become like a platform for organization, companies to come and advertise their own brands, which is not okay. What are we doing? Companies, wherever you are listening from, can you come on board and supplement government's effort? Why can't we come up with air warnings instead of each and every time to be donating when we have such kind of issues? Why can't we come up with a system where we can advocate, educate people on the dangers of these environmental challenges that in one way that may result in deaths? The deaths that we are talking about, 700 that were lost, we are talking about separated families. No, you are in love with your husband, and then boom, your husband dies out of cholera. Remain a widow. Who are the cause of that? Only the negligence of us taking good care of the environment. As we now heading towards rainy season, it is cardinal that together with the government, private sectors, organizations, we create a powerful, more reliable early warnings. We are in October. Very soon, we'll have some rains coming. What are we going to do? Are we going to go back again to the same traditional ceremony, flooding and cholera? We can't afford to do that. We are appealing to each and every stakeholder out there, church leaders, please can you come on board and see on how best we can put an end to this. We are 60 years independence, and we are still talking about cholera. No, we can't really continue to talk about this. Further, we also appeal to the government to enforce the already enacted environmental laws that speaks to environmental nuisance. We do have enough laws that speaks to environmental nuisance. But however, there is also a gap in terms of how we can assimilate and how these laws can also be one way or the other enforced. Because this time around, it's very normal to see someone moving in a Porsche car and throw a litter, which is not supposed to be the case. Why can't it be like Rwanda? I've never heard of Rwanda suffering from cholera. Why? Because of the environment is well managed. Even us, we can do that. If Rwanda can do that, we can do that. At Green Cosmos, we are therefore committed to address these issues head on. With the help of the U.S. government, we launched what we are calling climate change capacity building, which aimed at educating 100,000 youths or people across the country. Very much important, because at this time around, what we need is education, not politics. We need the climate change education, and more importantly, climate actions. If we keep on blaming one another, we keep on politicizing everything, then there's nowhere we are going. Even in the next 20 years, we are going to be the same Zambia. So it's high time we invest in education, capacity building, educate the people. We indeed, in one way or the other, put up some kind of capacity building education that is sustainable each and everybody, so that we may have a better Zambia. We mean this by empowering our young people. We can cultivate a generation that advocates for responsible waste disposal and actively participates in creating cleaner, healthier communities. And lucky enough, here in Lusaka, we actually did this campaign where we educated about, we empowered about 70 youths. Not only that, we had also gone to the Copper Belt, where we also educated about 75 youths, empowering them with the skills, knowledge, so that they can be in one way or the other zealous and environmental advocacy. And we indeed aim to continue with your participation, collaborations, partnerships, so that we move this agenda toward further. Furthermore, we must also recognize the urgent need to combat deforestation, which exacerbates the effects of climate change. The loss of approximately 250 up to 300,000 hectares of forest annually not only reduces our capacity to absorb carbon dioxide, but also disrupts local ecosystem, leading to increased temperature and erratic rainfall patterns. What are we going to be at the end of the day? If at all we were to cut all the trees in our country, if you want to get a if you want to it's high time we refrain from this kind of issues. I appreciate what the mitigation strategies that the government are putting in place, but we need more. We need to do more. Educating people is very much important, so that at the end of the day, everyone will speak the same language. Earlier this year, to continue, our nation was struck by the worst devastating drought our nation has ever faced in its history. Approximately 9.8 million people in Zambia have been affected by drought, primarily due to El Nino conditions. The drought, therefore, has impacted 88 out of 116 districts across Zambia, leading to severe consequences for agriculture, water, and food insecurity. This is now why we are able to say 350. Why? We never had rains. About 1 million hectares were affected. So they couldn't, in one way or the other, produce what they were expecting. Now we have what we call shortage of what? Shortage of maize. Because of what? Because of the same drought which really affected the people of Zambia. These are not issues that we should be each and every time politicizing, but we should come up with possible solutions, and like each and every time to be pointing fingers. There is more to life than politics. There is more to Zambia than politics. It's high time we refrain from that and then come up with solutions on how best we are going to help our people. As a response, we also maybe just also to recommend the Zambian government through the Office of the Vice President, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, who reached with agency over to 6.6 million people with relief food. This is good. This was a good gesture that the government did. This also indicates the government's prompt response and efforts towards air recovery and resilience building initiatives in the drought-affected districts. As such, as Green Cosmos would also like to acknowledge the government of Zambia under the able leadership of Dr. Hakainde Hichilema. May we continue so that at the end of the day, our people may have something to put in their stomachs. It's very painful to sleep without eating. So, there is no way that we are going. So we appeal also to the government, to organizations, and the general public to see on how best we can be of help to the people of Zambia, especially those vulnerable ones who are suffering, who have got nowhere to put their hands and say, okay, It's important that we acknowledge that. Nevertheless, the time to act is now. We cannot wait for tomorrow to solve what has become an existential crisis. We appeal again to the government and civil society that all Zambians unite in our efforts to combat climate change and stop criticizing everything. The high cost of living, members of TRICE, the high cost of living, exacerbated by rising food prices and inflation, has made life increasingly difficult for vulnerable communities across Zambia. As Green Cosmos, we recognize that climate change is key driver of this crisis due to unpredictable weather patterns, prolonged droughts, and shifts in growing seasons, which has significantly reduces global yields. And having said so, through our capacity building as Green Cosmos, these are the solutions that we are bringing about. We are actually directing this project to tackling issues by educating farmers on drought resistance growth techniques. By teaching farmers how to adapt to these harsh conditions, we are not only helping to secure food production, but also addressing the economic pressure families face in our homes. We have a hard pressure, we have a hard break in communities because of food. Now to pay because of food. Look at the number of divorces this time around, very much increasing. Why? If you are good. We feel it's very much important. We educate farmers. It's not always that we can depend on maize. There are some other crops that we can be able to indeed introduce to the Zambian people so that we have something we can get and every time look at. In this way, our work links climate action to economic relief. With the government and private sector support, we can scale up these efforts, creating sustainable solutions that tackle both climate change and the high cost of living. And on this one, on the capacity building that we've actually introduced, which we began this year, we are calling upon stakeholders, organizations from different parts of the world to come on board. So together we can put our efforts together and see on our best we can be of help to the Zambian government and the Zambian people. Going on, members of the press, load shedding, a crisis in our homes and economy. The ongoing load shedding crisis continues to disrupt lives and businesses. Home are plagued into darkness. I'm sure this is not now the strange thing. Every Zambia is aware of what is happening. 3 hours of power. It's painful, and I'm sure nobody would really would wish Zambia to go such through kind of pains. And the government is trying by all means each and every time. Importing power. You can tell to say things are rough. Importing power. Why? All this because of what? Because of climate change. So now it's high time we ask ourselves to say, what am I doing in regards to these issues that is happening? What solutions also am I putting across so that together with the government we champion these issues? And then because at the end of the day, people are laughing at Zambia. That's what now the news out there. They have got no power. And no one would want side. It's not like you are in your home and then people are saying, you say, what if you want to but they are trying it and every time. Of course, we also need to note that we are a nation blessed beyond measure with resources. Potential, and most importantly, the strength of our people. Every challenge we are faced has only made us stronger as Zambians. And it is in the face of these challenges that our spirit shines and brightens. Today, I'm reminded of the powerful words of John F. Kennedy. Please, note this. Ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. This is the mindset that will fuel our journey forward. And let me share with you some of the exciting initiatives we are proposing and willing to work on to drive Zambia to greatness, head on with the government and private sector as well as the general public. Hybrid solar hydro system. Our first big step that we are proposing is to turn the Kariba Dam into an extraordinary hybrid power system, combining solar power with existing hydropower capability. India has already created a solar-powered airport. That's one thing that India has done. So why shouldn't Kariba read as a hydro system? And why can't Zambia have a solar airport yet as well? We are able to see these things more, especially when you speak about the transportation sector, because one way it also leads to the effects of climate change, greenhouse gas emissions, and everything. Not only that, but also it's important that to refrain from issues that one way or the other you may find an airport go shut down without power. It's high time we also recognize that. So as Green Cosmos stands ready to work with the government, the private sector, and the international community to develop sustainable energy solutions, the future of Zambia's energy must be green and resilient. A call for action, therefore, for prosperous future for all. The journey that we are embarking on, the ones that we have actually mentioned, sterilization of airports, and also turning Kariba into an extraordinary hydro power system. Coming up also with, we have seen that the government now are buying electrical vehicles, which is a plus for us as Zambians. We are therefore also proposing if we can at least even have one a battery station where these vehicles can be charged from. By doing so, we are encouraging people to buy more electrical vehicles. It's high time we actually, one or the other, noted that. So we need our youth to rise, to be trained, to be skilled, and to be ready for the future. More especially we youths, because at the end of the day, we are the future. We are the leaders of tomorrow. So it's high time we took some kind of interest in everything that is happening in our country. Before I end, I would also just love to re-echo and appeal to the government, the Zambian government, to respectfully urge you to act, the Zambian government, to act with urgency that these crises demand. Climate change, the cost of living, the energy crisis are interconnected. Together they compound the difficulties faced by the most vulnerable in our society. It is time for a coordinated, comprehensive response to these challenges. We are ready to assist and we offer our expertise to ensure Zambia builds a sustainable future for all. So first and foremost, as we now head into the rainy season, we don't want to have issues again with border. We repeat, with border. Let us actually come up with early warnings as quickly as possible. And to do that, Green Cosmos proposes to launch what we are calling through it in the being called sector, with the availability of resources, partnerships with other influential organizations and government institutions. We are ready to start up this campaign, which will definitely be able to be there to change people's mindset, focus on people's mindset shift, education, advocacy, as well as cleaning, more especially our places. Of course, we are aware that the Zambia, through the local councils, they are doing that, but we want to supplement their efforts by adding more manpower to it so that at the end of the day, we may have a cleaner Zambia. Apart from that, we also understand the initiatives government are doing in regards to solar stations, powered plants. We call upon again the government, please, to ensure that we also come up with not only long-term planning, but also short-term planning, so that at the end of the day, our people can be relieved from this payment. Grants to the US government. As Green Cosmos, would like, first and foremost, to take this moment to express our deepest gratitude to the US government through its embassy and the American space for their invaluable support during the second quarter of our year. Their partnerships has actually enabled us to expand our initiatives and increase our impact. The time we went to the Copper Belt Fair, it was also a partnership that we had with the American space, the American embassy, and indeed in one way or the other, we were able to reach out to as many people as we could. Without their inputs, their support, and their funding, we wouldn't have done that. Great to adopt better, and we will continue to do the same. And then, most importantly, we look forward to continue collaboration in our shared commitment to fight climate change. We are aware that the US government is very much advanced in its technological approach when it comes to climate change and other issues. We hope and pray our collaboration continues so that together we may reach beyond boundaries. Today, members of the press, we are very much honored to have people who are joining Green Cosmos. Others, more especially our board of directors, joined some few months ago, but we never had time to welcome the public like the way it is right now. And we feel it's very much important for us to actually have these people join us. We have Sanjeev Shada, who is joining Green Cosmos board of directors, and he will definitely, more especially, work on the funding mobilization and partnerships. He will definitely say a lot more as we move. We also have Dr. Bridget, who joined us last year. Dr. Bridget.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. She's into working on the same capacity building that we are doing all the collaborations here and there, and just move things forward. We have Madam Wika Tamba. Thank you so much, doctors. We joined last year as well. She has been working hand in hand with the management to ensure that Green Cosmos has the perfect management, and at the end of the day, move with the positive vibe. And all these programs that we were able to see in social media everywhere, she's behind everything that is being done. And then we have also the board chair, Ms. Virginia O'Grady, who is in Dubai. She has been working with us since last year to ensure that Green Cosmos' mission really continues to flourish. Apart from that, we are also honored to have our Honorable Edmund Meeting, who is going to, thank you so much for having you, who is going to join Green Cosmos as meter director and coordinations. I believe we have also other members. We are able to see them, who are, of course, call upon their names so that they can stand and say one or two words right there, and then we move forward. Otherwise, we say thank you to everyone. Together, I believe that we will drive forward the mission of Zambia and to come up with a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable future for our country and the world at large. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, CEO. Very insightful and great initiatives that we have as Green Cosmos. I'm actually very proud to be a member of Green Cosmos.
Yeah.
Yes, so at this point, we'll have an open discussion.
And then I'll also give something. So Green Cosmos Zambia, founded by a group of dedicated individuals united by a shared vision to combat climate change. Please underline that word. Climate change in Zambia is a non-profit, non-governmental entity committed to raising environmental awareness and tackling climate change-related issues. Our main focus is on preserving natural resources and fostering community engagement and collaboration. So network milestone includes receiving a letter of recognition and recommendation from the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, that was on 23 January 2023, and achieving official registration with the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services on March 10, 2023. So upon registration we are talking about Green Cosmos. So in short, it's a youth-led organization which is coming up to promote, to help the Zambian people and also promote sustainability, especially environmental-wise, both urban as well as in rural areas. And we have done great initiatives partnering with the government. The Kipu Saka Clean Up you saw in town was part of the program that Green Cosmos initiated. And apart from that, we are more especially in advocacy. Yeah, those are the main programs that we have actually been doing. We are pushing further to the Ministry of Local Government. And then I was speaking about through it in the being called a CSECA. I'll get back to the program. Through it in the being called a CSECA. This is the program that we've actually been talking about since early this year. We're supposed to launch it on the 30th September, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we couldn't be able to do so. Currently, Kaliba Power Station has an installed capacity of 1,050 megawatts, but is currently restricted to an average output of 214 megawatts due to lower water level, as it is right now as we speak. And in terms of energy consumption, the mining sector, we all know that remains the highest consumer of electricity, accounting for about 51%. So this followed by a domestic sector, which consumes 3% of the same electricity. So what do we mean? First and foremost, it's high time we also consider the solar, because we can't just rely on the hydro. We don't expect whether we'll have rains or not. And as it is right now, looking at the El Nino and everything, the weather patterns and what we are able to see from these other technocrats, whoever is advising us, we may have rains or not, or even maybe compared to last year. The fact, like I gave the preamble already, of all Green Cosmos is all about, we have in one way or the other some kind of help from people, especially in Sandev, Dr. Bridget, Ms. Weka. And these are the people who are well passionate about climate change and environmental sustainability. But they thought it's very much important, at least, also to affiliate to a certain organization which in line with their mission and goals as individuals. And here we have. So at this point in time, media, please. I'd love to call upon Mr. Sanjeev Chade to come. Matota. Just to come forward. Signing Green Cosmos membership. He also just committing himself to the. Thank you so much. And thereafter, Sanjeev, after the signing of votes, Director Sanjeev will give a speech. And we'll have Dr. Amika Tamba, please.
Tamba, as a new member of the Green Cosmos Zambia, on this day, 9th October, commit to supporting and promoting climate awareness, contributing to local-led adaptation and disaster risk reduction efforts to address climate change in our communities. I pledge to collaborate with fellow members in the community to advance Gregor's mission of fostering environmental sustainability and resilience.
We'll have Honorable Edmond Miti.
Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished personalities on the dais, my stakeholders, I am blessed. A lot of learnings I have. Thank you so much. And wonderful media personalities is the fourth pillar of our nation. We have a lot of hopes and you are doing a great job. We all appreciate you. Thank you so much. I am Sanjeev Sharda. I am an Indian. I came in Zambia in 2021 April. Zambia is my second motherland. And it's a great honor and privilege to stand before you today as I accept the appointment to the Board of Directors of Green Cosmos. I am deeply grateful for the trust placed on me to take on this vital role, which focuses on funding, mobilizations, partnerships, engagements, and climate capacity building, all with one clear goal in mind: a better, greener tomorrow for our planet and for the people of Zambia. As you know, my journey in environment advocacy has been deeply personal one. For many years, I have championed the cause of climate action, starting with something as simple as planting trees. Since my time in India, and finally continued my tradition here in my new home, Zambia, my belief is that every Zambian can make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. I have called upon each of us to plant at least one tree a month. One seed of hope that will grow into a better future for our children and our community. Now, as I take on this new responsibility as Green Cosmos Zambia, my mission becomes even broader. But it remains rooted in the same principles of community, action, and shared responsibility. The time to act is now, and together we can mobilize the resources needed to protect our environment. So first and foremost, secondly, funding mobilization for a sustainable future. To make this vision a reality, funding will be key. Climate action requires significant resources, and I am committed to mobilizing these funds from international partners, donors, and investors who are eager to support Green Cosmos and Zambia's green transition. Thirdly, partnership and engagements. But funding alone will not solve the problem. Partnership and engagements with key actors, including all of you gathered here today, are vital. Each of us must play a role in this fight. As I close, I can reaffirm the message that has been central to my climate journey so far. Each one of us has a role to play. If we all commit to small, consistent actions like planting tree a month, we can collectively create a greener, healthier, and a more prosperous Zambia. And more importantly, I want Green Cosmos to be the largest organization in Zambia. And my appeal and my humble request through our media personals, each and every citizen of Zambia should be an environment activist and be a part of Cosmos. Let me stand together, united our love for this land, and let us fight for a sustainable future that benefits everyone. Together, we can build a better tomorrow. One Zambia, one nation, one people. Green Cosmos, Kuchalo, Natotola Sada. Thank you.
You make or break. You make political parties, you break parties. You make organizations, you can break them. So yours is a key role which shouldn't be undermined or underplayed. I think for me that's still my echo. And to summarize what everybody has spoken to, for me, I'll use 3 questions which I'll pose to everyone, myself included. How will Africa, and in Zambia particularly, outcome technology with the West? How can we what do we have as Zambia to show the West? Whether it's on climate management, whether it's whatever it is we think we're talking about. For me, we say we go where sustainability goes. Right now, China might have the greatest economy, but the air is polluted. The way the people there get sick is very different from even the diseases there. So we have a good country, a country which has got great resources, which we're not utilizing. So how can we utilize what we have to our advantage? We have something great. As a market, I'll say we stand at a better chance to have a competitive advantage, which we're not utilizing, because we're looking at smaller problems, and yet we have a greatest advantage. My second point is, if you're a salesperson, we all try to sell something. I'm a salesperson. So as citizens, we are salespeople for our country. And how do you plan to market Zambia and Africa? And what would you sell in terms of infrastructure, which I still bring back? We are the least in terms of infrastructure. We are the least in terms of technology. But we have one of the greatest minds. Zambia's got one of the greatest engineers. If you go to Rwanda, and this is something I can cite, having been in the energy sector for a while, I think the last 3 or 4 CEOs there came from Zambia. And if you look at Rwanda, it's a very, very established nation, but they're getting capacity from Zambia. So we have a lot to sell as Zambians. We have a lot to market, but we concentrate on smaller issues. And for me, I like telling people, I like solutions. The problems will always be there, but what are we taking to sell, to market? People are coming, if you see the influx of whether it's Asians, whether it's Arabs, whether it's the West, flock into Africa, going to these exhibitions we don't go to, going to ask important questions. How can they have a stake in what is happening? Because if I'm in Dubai, I have the money, why am I bothered with what is happening in Zambia? Because Zambia has got something I don't have. So what am I taking? I'm taking what I have to get what I don't have. And that's something we need to show. And I think I can say a lot.
And it means that we need to change the way we perceive ourselves and our relationship with the planet. We also need to change the way we perceive ourselves and the way we perceive our country. My lady already picked on that. It is only here in Zambia that we do not protect our brand called Zambia. Yes, we say Zambia Kuchalo, but we do not protect the image of Zambia. The second point is, as we are growing to be conscious, let's be sensitive to keep a positive narrative. Because that's what is going to facilitate energy for us to act. And so it is important for us to be deliberate and intentional at individual level, at family level, at organizational level, to champion the positive vibe. I can't help but to give an example of trade peace. 29 years in this Zambia, using this same kind of energy, government in, government out, $750 million worth of investment in Zambia, where there are challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, it is choosing to see that we do have opportunities in Zambia and championing a positive narrative. And lastly, as Green Cosmos, we're taking the bull by its horns, and by that I mean we are creating the positive narrative. We also would like to contribute to developing systems. It is only in Zambia where we're sitting in an environment where systems do not seem to be working. Some are set up but not working. We also are championing relationships, because you can have a very good system, but if nobody is coming to that table to connect and to relate, we are not moving. For that reason, on behalf of Green Cosmos, it's for us, we are saying, we are standing, we are uniting and acting. So I am calling upon you, especially as media, stand, unite and act for Zambia in the next 60 years. Thank you so much.
Sounds like our motto. Thank you so much.
I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces here, faces that I work with in my other life. I think I will not say much because a lot has been said, and I'm also looking at the fact that we are out of time. But what I would love to urge my friends, the media, is that you help us in this campaign to sensitize the Zambians on the need to protect our environment and our earth. We only have one place we call home, and it's the earth we live on. So if we do not protect it, then we literally have nowhere to go. As usual, we'll keep engaging in the same way that we engage in my other life, in this new life, and I hope that you give me the same support that you give me in my other life in this new life. Thank you.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone from the media that has come here today to be part of this press conference. The climate fight is one that is existential, as has been alluded to by my colleagues on the panel. And one of the things that we really need to strive hard to rectify or to correct or to redirect into a more positive direction is the human element in this climate fight. Up to this point, we can get away with blaming ignorance, but at this point in time, knowledge is becoming fast growing, especially in social media spaces, and we need to strive hard to advocate to remove the human element of irresponsibly disposing of trash, irresponsibly cutting of trees, those negative environmental vices that we've all come to learn and know affect us. One of these adverse effects that we're seeing today, the drought, famine, those are symptoms of what is, like I had mentioned, an existential problem. Climate change, if left unchecked, has the potential to wipe out life as we know it here on Earth. This temperature rise that we're seeing, there's a metaphor that was alluded to by Al Gore. What happens when your body, when you're ill, when you have malaria, for instance, and your temperature is rising? That is the body increasing the temperature so that it can fight, the infection, probably get rid of that infection by making the body not a conducive place for what? For that virus or infection to live. And that is what the planet is doing to us now. Now we're facing these challenges. It's becoming harder and harder for us to survive as a people. Businesses are struggling. People are struggling to make ends meet. And all this is because for a very long time we have left things unchecked. And I'm calling upon each and every one of us to take it upon ourselves to not be a part of the problem. It needs to start from us as individuals. We're running what we call the Green Up Zambia campaign, which is a multifaceted campaign. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to have a conversation with people. We're trying to, get their insights. Someone had mentioned with this adverse load shedding that we're facing, there's charcoal. Not long ago, we were in Tendere having a conversation with the people, and they said, what, we understand cutting trees is bad, using this charcoal is bad, but what alternatives do we have? How do we survive? Do we go hungry? And we really need to take it upon ourselves to make sure that we become the change that we want to see in this world. The media plays a very critical role in disseminating information with regards to climate change. People find out about things, they rely on you for information. When I speak from our organization's point of view, our partners' point of view. When you speak, you are speaking to the masses, you are relaying information to say this is what stands on the ground. And would like to encourage each and every one of us, take action. As part of the Green Up Zambia campaign, we do we give away trees to people that want to plant trees. So I'm urging each and every one of you in here, get our contacts, find time, stop by one of our nurseries, pick up some trees that you can plant in your home. That's a start. you'll be teaching your children the importance of nurturing and protecting the environment. That goes a long way in helping us build the future that we want to see. We need to start somewhere, and we need to start with the smallest actions that we can take, the simplest things. When you consume something, please properly dispose of it. It's those simple steps. There's no entity anywhere that is going to show up and come to fix the problems that we're facing. If we let this get to a situation where it becomes critical, it's just a bigger headache for us. There's no one else who's going to fix this problem. We're going to leave a bigger mess for the generations to come, and that's why we are generation that restores, the earth to what it's supposed to be. Let's protect our ecosystems, and with those few words, I would like to donate 60 trees in commemoration of 60 years of independence to the good folks at Green Cosmos. I hope you plant them and nurture them, and we hope that we can do more. For those of you that might be interested, please reach out to us. You can look us up, the Eco Foundation, or One Tree at a Time. Just send us a message if you'd like to get some trees. Our people at the nurseries will be there to attend to you, and they'll give you fruit trees, shade trees, whatever is conducive for the place where you want to plant them. Thank you very much.